Hello everyone. Today is gonna be kind of a different video. I had a video like this planned in the past. I was gonna go over all the plot holes in Naruto and explain how they aren't really plot holes. People sort of just misuse the term a lot or ascribe certain things about the story to being a plot hole when it can be explained as just bad writing in general. So the thing about a plot hole is the definition of a plot hole would be like, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's a hole in the plot, right? Where there's something either left unexplained that would need to be, or things happen out of place for what their outcome is. For example, think of one in Dragon Ball Z off the top of my head. Whenever Gohan is talking to Piccolo and Gotenks about them being in the time chamber while Buu is outside, he's like, oh, well, you guys were in the time chamber, so 2 minutes for you was like 6 hours out here, and that's not how it works. It's the other way around, right? But the story still works off of that, like that is the way it works. That's a plot hole. It should have been the other way around. Buu should have had more time than them. Naruto only really has one example of a plot hole in it in its entirety, to my recollection anyway. I may be wrong about that. If I don't cover some in this video, you can definitely leave a comment. This video is also going to be like a lot less effort than my normal content. My next video after this one is a pretty special one. It's a video I did with my friend Seth the programmer, on what would happen if Minato used Baryon mode in the war arc. And I told my editor to take some extra time on it, but I still wanted to be able to get a video out by the end of the month because it's been a while since my last upload. Now, this video, like I said, I had it planned out in the past, but then I stumbled across this video one day from this guy named Tobito. Now, I have no idea about Tobito. I'm not gonna call him idiot or anything like that. I'm sure he's just someone who misunderstood the series at some point. It's valid, right? Like, a lot of people watched Naruto a very long time ago and they go off of that recollection. Not a lot of people have read the manga over and over again like I have because of, me doing videos and things like that. So him, misremembering some things or ascribing plot hole to some things isn't all bad. It's just he has them listed out here so I can just go over them one at a time because they're mostly pretty easy to explain. I haven't looked at this first video yet, but I did look at his second one. So yeah, I'm just gonna get right into it, and we'll go over the plot holes as they come. So this first one here, how did Lee pass the ninja exams when you need a shadow clone? For one, it's not a shadow clone that you need to pass the exams. It's just a normal clone jutsu. And that requirement changes per year, right? So it's not every year that you need a shadow clone to pass. That's how Lee passed his first exam. That's how Lee got past his little Genin training or whatever. Shadow clone is a Jonin level jutsu, but is a graduation requirement. Oh, yeah. This goes back to what I said before. Shadow clones are not the ones that are required for you to graduate. That's just a normal clone jutsu. And it's only considered Jonin level when you do it at the level of someone like Naruto, which, not any other Genin can do in part 1. To make that pretty apparent. Naruto's age. If Naruto failed the exam 3 times, how is he the same age as his peers? Naruto, likely being a hothead, just took the exam a few times very early, and because of that he failed 3 times even though he wasn't supposed to take it in the first place, essentially. Why didn't Orochimaru try to take any Sharingan before the Uchiha massacre? Orochimaru is a perfectionist. Orochimaru wants the perfect body. That's why he's going after people like Sasuke and Itachi. He doesn't want just any Sharingan, because you can do that. You can get just any Sharingan. In fact, he hooked Danzo up with 10 of them. Like, he hooked Danzo up with an arm to literally store 10 Sharingan. Orochimaru wants the body. That's why Orochimaru didn't get any of the Sharingan before the Uchiha clan massacre. Again, this isn't a plot hole either. Like, even if this was the case, it's not a plot hole. It's just something. Itachi killed the whole Uchiha clan in one night. How were they all at home that night? This isn't a plot hole. It's just never explained. But the thing about things like this is we can come to different conclusions or a logical conclusion through just inference, right? So we know that this is a thing that's planned with the elders, Danzo, Hiruzen, they're all in on it. So since they know the whole Uchiha clan has to die, wouldn't it be better for them to recall the Uchiha clan from whatever missions they were on and, you know, make them stay at home that night? And then, you know, have Itachi kill them. Biju free if the host dies. Why did Kurama try to help Naruto when Naruto could die? When you die, your Biju dies. That's why when Minato died, Kurama went with him. This just isn't true. Why does lightning beat earth? Doesn't make sense. That's not a plot hole. It's just how the verse works. Kakashi doesn't go blind from Mangekyo use. I'm gonna have to pause it again. So the thing about Mangekyo use and making users blind is we're never given a time frame for that at all. We only get sort of like a vague one with Sasuke, right? And it's sort of ambiguous. So we know that the Mangekyo makes you go blind. And we know that using the abilities more can make you go blind. The thing is, we don't know which abilities make you go blind quicker than the other one. Like Obito, a lot of people like to say that Hashirama cells like healed his eyes. That's how he can use it for so long. I don't buy into that. That just sounds a tad ridiculous. I just think that Kamui doesn't have a high blindness rate, if you will. Keep in mind, Sasuke was using his Susanoo a lot, which Obito doesn't have. Kakashi also doesn't have. And Obito only uses one MS ability. He just uses it all the time. Kakashi, and then even then, later in the war, when Kakashi starts to use this a lot in the war, he comments on how he's going blind. So I mean, I don't think this is a plot hole whatsoever. Naruto Senjutsu is better. One of Nagato's bodies absorbed dries toad oil even though it was Senjutsu. So the thing about Senjutsu is in order to maintain a Sage mode or things like that, you need to balance the Senjutsu with your normal chakra supply. The Path of Pain couldn't do that because of how much was taken in, and that's when you become a frog, when you take in way too much nature energy. Naruto was constantly pumping the Preta Path with nature energy, Senjutsu. He was standing there just pumping it full. He was loading it up because he was sitting still. Jiraiya's normal jutsu, all that means is he doesn't have as much nature energy in them as what Naruto put into the Preta Path. That's all. Obito controlling Yagura, controlling humans stated to be done by Shisui's eye. That's just Shisui's Mangekyo ability. Doesn't mean that no one else can start doing this with like a normal Sharingan. Just that Shisui's, for one, you can give people a command with one eye, and then the other eye you can just control them and they won't know they're being controlled. That's the whole thing special about Shisui's. Itachi is disconnected from his Susanoo. This is only in the anime. This is only in the anime. I looked this up before because I was trying to argue that Itachi could leave his Susanoo and have it fight autonomously. This was like a very long time ago. But in the manga, Itachi is actually inside the Susanoo. But even if he wasn't, no holes in the plot are created by this. What plot hole arises from Itachi being over here instead of right here? He became Karin. He didn't use his techniques to torture Karin. I mean, he just didn't at this point, I guess. Like, what if he just did it? Kushina and Naruto, she told the story of what happened during Naruto's birth and she wasn't there for it. The thing about this would be that it's possible Kushina just got Minato's memories, like when their chakra connected, when he was sealing her chakra inside of Naruto's, right? Because when chakra connects, you can see the other person's memories. Like B does this with the Raikage during the war arc. Sasuke comments on this in his fight with Naruto, like, oh yeah, when two shinobis of a high caliber trade blows, they can tell what each other's thinking just by trading blows. When Naruto's fighting Obito and their chakra connects, all his memories start flooding into Naruto. So it's like a very consistent thing. So Kushina probably just learned what Minato did while he was connecting their chakra together. And this is the ghost of the Kushina that got sealed into Naruto, right, by Minato. So I mean, very plausible. Obito lost his right arm to Minato, but the Zetsu arm is his left. This one's weird. It's not an animation error because it happens in the manga as well. This one's weird. You could say, and I'm a pretty big fan of this, that Obito just went and got some extra Zetsu cells to put on his left arm. I don't think there's an inherent issue with this, right? Like he just got more cells because he's about to be controlling the Nine Tails and fighting the fourth Hokage. Perfectly fine with me. But even then, even if we say this is a mistake, no holes in the plot are created by this. Because regardless of what arm Obito lost, he would have still just gotten it back by attaching his Zetsu arm. So, yeah. Deidara blew himself up and yet Kabuto reanimated him. There's no blood or body. So, for one, that's complete assumption to say there's no blood or body. But Deidara lived a long time before the C0 bomb. He could have had like a strand of hair at an Akatsuki hideout or something for Kabuto to get, because that's all you need for the Edo Tensei jutsu. So this isn't a plot hole anyway. Deidara never used C0 when reanimated. Deidara says it's not that's not beautiful or something like that. He doesn't like it because, you know, he likes art, blah, 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 blah. And then he tries to do it one time when he's about to get sealed and they stop him with lightning release. So, I mean, he did try to do this. Why did Obito need reanimation for pads of pain? They don't need to be alive. He might not have needed it, but just wanted it. Again, there's no plot hole here. It's just, maybe you could say bad writing, but I don't see how that's bad writing. Obito never absorbed any jutsu until he became a Jinchuriki. Maybe he just didn't want to. Again, not a plot hole. Arc of War makes no sense. If Obito didn't need 8 and 9 tails, what would he start the war for? Well, when Obito is summoning the 10 tails, he literally says he would have preferred to summon it at full power, but whatever. So that's why he just summoned it not at full power. Mizukage bled in Edo Tensei. So did Itachi. I don't think this is a plot hole at all. Nothing about this creates a hole in the plot. Line up your Earth Thal Shinobi and use them as a shield. Yeah, this one's just dumb. Like, there's no holes in the plot created by it because this shit doesn't work, because it's just wrong. But I mean, this is just dumb. Sasuke's Amaterasu against Kabuto forms a circle but doesn't touch Kabuto. This is literally in no way, shape, or form a plot hole. This is literally just a strategy. And I'm pretty sure literally in this scene, Kabuto says the strongest ocular jutsu can also be the strongest offensive attack can be the strongest defensive attack. I'm pretty sure that's what Kabuto says to Sasuke here. So, I mean, not a plot hole. Itachi undercutter or Masakami, he does nothing when Sasuke says he's going to destroy the village. Sasuke tells Itachi this after Itachi stops Kabuto, which says that he wasn't under the Genjutsu anymore, because that's what was saving the village to him. On top of that, you could also just say Sasuke's words weren't true then, which I mean might actually be valid, but I kind of want to talk about Sasuke in depth in a later video. I think he's pretty cool. Pain paths are just puppets. How was you able to Genjutsu one? This one's weird. Again, no holes in the plot here. Maybe you could just say bad writing, but I mean, I guess a way to explain it would be they're just dead bodies that are being controlled by chakra, and that's all Genjutsu really does, is control you by a chakra. That's how. The Kusanagi's sword cannot be blocked, but then this is forgotten. I don't know about this one. I can't think of a time Sasuke's sword has been blocked, but even then, it's when the Chidori's on it that it can't be blocked. But oh, the right Kage blocks it. Yeah, I mean, it's just hyperbole. Or to Sasuke's knowledge, it can't be blocked. Whatever. Itachi's lie. Itachi said you need Mangekyo to control Nine Tails. Obito did it with base Sharingan. This isn't a plot hole. Like, literally, this title like debunks this itself. Itachi's lie. It's just a lie, not a plot hole. There's some more stuff surrounding the whole like Uchiha MS Nine Tails stuff, but I don't want to get into it because I think it'd make a fairly interesting video. Reanimation release. They both hate each other. Why would Tobirama show him the signs? The thing about this, Madara could have just seen Tobirama use Dojutsu like he claims he has in the past, and seen a shinobi do the signs, copied it with this Sharingan one day, and that's how he remembered it in the war. Pretty simple. Again, not a plot hole. Kabuto summoned Madara for a very long time, but Orochimaru summoned 4 full Kage in 5 minutes. I have no idea what this means. Hashirama's plot armor. Madara never uses fire style against Hashirama's wood style. Don't know how that's plot armor. How, like, does he think the fire style would just neg the wood style? Like, wood style absorbs chakra, and on top of that, fire doesn't always just burn trees away. Like, Sasuke used fire style on Orochimaru in the Chunin exams, and it just like blew Orochimaru into a tree. So Madara is blind, yet he still used all of his Rinnegan and Sharingan abilities. This isn't true. This ability right here, Orochimaru also uses. It's just chakra absorption. Like, there's some random guy in the Chunin exams that uses this as well on Sasuke in the like prelim fight. As for Madara using the Susanoo while not having any eyes, the only person this ever has affected with their Susanoo is Sasuke. Even when Itachi's blind, like showing the exact same signs as Sasuke, he doesn't lose his Susanoo. And the Susanoo is an extension of the user's will, so I mean, it could just be a Sasuke exclusive thing. Madara also doesn't use Limbo while he's blind, so again, wrong. Edo Madara couldn't be a Jinchuriki, but Edo Minato could. So we see that Jubi Jinchuriki are different from normal Jinchuriki, like very, very clearly. One way would be literally this way. So, I mean, again, not a plot hole. Why does he only use this ability when he comes back to life? So the thing about Limbo clones, the way it's described to work is the user sort of interferes with an adjacent world, and they can project clones into this adjacent world, right? So we just don't know if Madara can do that while he's in Edo. And if he can, it's not a plot hole. It would just mean Madara was holding back on everyone while he was in Edo, and he's actually just like the strongest guy out there. Which, I mean, not too bad at all. Still blind Madara. Madara's rods didn't disappear on Hashirama after losing his Rinnegan. Okay. So Susanoo isn't Senjutsu. Why can't Rinnegan absorb it? Who says Rinnegan can absorb the chakra? I mean, considering the picture he put here, guessing he's talking about when Itachi hit Nagato. I want to make my own video on Itachi versus Nagato. And I don't think the fight they have is all too relevant to the topic. I'm not gonna lie, but I think that's what he's using for this, and I don't think it means that the Rinnegan can absorb the Susanoo. Like, at best you can just say that Nagato just didn't absorb it. If Nagato has Madara's Rinnegan, why can't he use base Sharingan abilities? Nagato doesn't know he has a Sharingan in there. Simple. Weak Akatsuki. How come it took the Akatsuki 3 days to extract the bee juice, but Obito did it in minutes? I want to talk about this when I talk about Obito in depth in like his own video, because I think Obito is like extremely interesting. But this isn't a plot hole. I'll say that. This is nowhere near a plot hole. Even if you just say this is the case, it's not a plot hole. If Madara was able to get the tail beast with ghetto rods, why didn't Nobito? Again, I want to talk about this in the other video. Right eye is short range comrie, but during the war, these rules were broken. When? Never broken. Why did the second and third Hokage recover after getting hit with Obito? Oh, talking about the true secret orbs. So the reason Tobirama and Hiruzen were able to regenerate after this is because this is before Obito becomes stable, right? When Obito becomes stable, his true secret orbs start to be imbued with yin yang release, which neg all ninjutsu essentially. So at this point they weren't imbued with it, but then as soon as he becomes stable Jubito, he cuts Minato's arm off. Minato's arm doesn't regenerate. That's how we know. Yeah, he's immortal, so he has infinite chakra. They have unlimited chakra. Why did Tobirama run out of chakra during the war? So people take these infinite chakra statements way too seriously. Chakra is tied to your life force. That much is stated. That's why the Uzumaki have such strong chakra and such large amounts of chakra and such high life force, right? So when you're in Edo, your life force can't run out because you're immortal. So with you being immortal, you have infinitely regenerating chakra, because if you run out, you don't die, you just start regenerating more. Madara uses Kamui. Obito couldn't use Kamui while Jubi, but Madara could. Obito never says that. Obito just said he can't slip through things, not that he can't use the portal warp ability, although he does never do it. This is also Kakashi's eye, not Obito's. So Madara using Kakashi's eye to just open a portal and go into Kamui is not a plot hole. Madara creates, doesn't capture any people, only rocks. He was only trying to capture rocks. Simple. Dead people can't be placed under Genjutsu, but Itachi was placed under one. No, dead people can't be affected by the infinite Tsukuyomi. We literally see a dead person like Itachi be affected by Genjutsu. Kage doesn't use Genjutsu. Yes, she does. She's the first infinite Tsukuyomi caster. Kage doesn't try to kill Sasuke. She didn't want to. She wanted her chakra back. Tobirama is a sensory type. You couldn't tell Madara buried the shadow clone. So when you die, your chakra doesn't immediately just leave your body, right? So during the war arc, whenever, or not war arc at this point, but whenever Obito dies to the Ash Bones, but then we see Obito come back because he has to give Kakashi a Sharingan. We see the chakra rise out of Obito's ashes to go into Kakashi's body. So your chakra doesn't immediately like leave once you die. So that's probably why, if Tobirama even was using his sensory, because he doesn't have it on all the time. Even if he was using his sensory, that's probably why he wasn't thinking like, oh, well, there you go. It's also hard to tell the difference between a shadow clone and a normal person. And in fact, the only person that can do it is Madara. So there you go. Madara died immediately after having the 10 tails removed, but Obito survived. Madara lost a lot more than Obito. Madara had a stronger Jubi. He had a much more chakra, and he got his body transformed. So that would be why Madara died. Madara also didn't have help. Obito was going to die, then Zetsu helped him. So I'm pretty sure that's it. Just a ramen guy meme. You guys should maybe check out Tobito's content. I've never looked at his page, but again, this isn't to make anyone feel bad or say like Tobito's dumb, nothing like that. It's just he had the plot holes here, and I kind of needed to get this out because I do think these are like general misconceptions surrounding the Naruto community. And maybe, you know, having the explanation will help a few people. But yeah, I'm gonna get out of here now. Look forward to the next video. It's gonna be me and Seth going over Baryon mode Minato. Make sure you like the video, subscribe if you like this kind of stuff. If I missed any plot holes, leave them in the comments and I'll probably just reply to it. But if there's enough of them, or what you guys think is plot holes, there's enough of them, I'll probably just make another video. It'll be a little bit more formal than this one though, on the subject. But yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. Have a nice day.